Welcome to International Securities Exchange's podcast series. Facilitated by renowned educators, ISE podcasts are intended to teach beginning as well as seasoned investors the ins and outs of trading. To find an updated list of podcasts, please visit www.ise.com/podcasts. Please be sure to listen to our important message following this episode regarding the risks of investing in exchange-traded options.
Hi, everyone. Wanted to thank you for joining us this afternoon. This is Elanite Levine from the ISE. I'm taking over for Steve Meisinger as the host this afternoon. We're very pleased to have with us again Jack Crooks, founder and president of Black Swan Capital, who will be presenting on the U.S. dollar sentiment. What role do global fundamentals play? With nearly 20 years' experience in the currency, equity, and futures markets, Jack has held key positions in brokerage, money management, trading, and research. Jack uses both quantitative and qualitative approaches to determine the fundamental driving forces behind the movement of the currency, capital, and commodities markets. Jack is also the co-editor of the Black Swan Currency Strategist and Black Swan's free daily e-letter called Currency Currents. Jack also founded Ross International Asset Management, a discretionary money management firm specializing in global stock, bonds, currency asset management for retail clients. Previously, he was general manager of Plexus Trading, where he specialized in currency futures and commodities trading. He also served as chief currency and futures strategist at M2 Futures, an investment boutique in Chicago, as well as vice president of global strategic research for an international investment boutique, where he was responsible for providing daily advice and global strategy analysis. Jack has written extensively on the subject of global currencies and international economics and has been published in the Asian Times, Futures Magazine, Barron's, Bloomberg, Dow Jones Newswire, and across many financial websites. He has also appeared on Bloomberg TV, CNBC, Fox, and Fox Business News. I'm going to turn it over to Jack.
Thank you, Elanette. Appreciate it. Thank you for being here, everybody. I appreciate your time today. Hopefully we can share some ideas that make some sense. What we're going to talk about today is a little bit about the role that the fundamentals play, obviously. And I guess this comes from the standpoint of why fundamental analysis, I think ultimately, especially from a intermediate to longer term trader, I think is very important. Obviously you can get by in this market, in any market, through pure technical analysis, but generally the longer term trends in currencies are really driven by the fundamentals. So I think it's important, whether you're a technical, even if you're a technical trader, to really just have some handle on the fundamentals that make sense and why they do. So I guess we're just going to briefly touch on that topic today and get into, because it's obviously a broad area. We could go into many fundamental areas. So I just want to give the broader strokes of why we think it's so important on the fundamentals. Then we're going to go into some of the sentiment, obviously the consensus thinking, look at some alternative scenarios that may be in play, and then give some specific trade setups that we like for the intermediate term time frame, some based on whether or not scenario A plays out, scenario B plays out, and a couple of trades that we like long-term against the U.S. dollar, regardless of what happens going forward, and give you some specific ideas on how to play that using the ISE FX options. So let me get started. And definitely we want your questions afterwards. So if you have a question along the way, please type it in the chat box or in the question box there, and I'll try and finish this up within about 45 minutes or so or less, and then get to your questions and hopefully answer them. Often questions from you are the best part of this, to tell you the truth. So please feel free to fire any questions out you have along the way, and hopefully I'll have plenty of time to get to them. Disclaimer. Another disclaimer. This is just a little summary box of the options that are listed on the ISE, and just some key points here of why and they believe, and I think it's definitely true, that this is a very good product for the retail investor that's looking to get involved in the currency markets, that doesn't want to take the pure leveraged risk of going into the spot market or trying to handle the futures market or even some of the options in the futures markets. On the currency futures markets, the baskets are so large. It's a little tough to getting started there. The beauty of the ISE FX option is that number one, it's just accessible through your regular equity broker. No special account is needed. They're exchange listed, so you can see the prices every day through your online account, online trading account at any of your brokers that you use, E-Trade, Options Express, all those guys out there. I don't want to start naming them. I will leave plenty out, but just the regular equity brokers online, and your full-service broker can access these too, obviously. They're all cash settled in U.S. dollars. European-style exercise. Now, that just means they can't be exercised on you till the end of the period. It doesn't mean you can't buy and sell these at any point at any time of the day. Every day you can. So be clear what that means. And they can be traded as spreads, meaning what you can do with these products is the exact same type of things you can do with stock options. There's no difference at all. They look just like a stock option, same expiration type of periods. They're all based on the $100 premium, times the premium. So they look very much like a stock option. The only real difference with this product is that the underlying is the currency. So this gives you access directly to the currency market in a way that allows you to gain some leverage, but do it with a fairly small capital investment. And if you're just buying puts and calls as opposed to going and selling, if you're just buying as the initial entry, you know exactly what your risk is. So you can make a pretty big leverage bet and know exactly how much you have at stake, which isn't the case in the spot forex or futures market, where you're very much exposed and have to be disciplined with your stops. We like these from an intermediate to longer term perspective. We tend not to use these as short-term trading vehicles. Spot market and futures market is much better for that because of the spreads are tight. But these are great, as I said, really for longer term trades and without a lot of capital at risk. And if you get it right here, you're going to get it right in a big way. So it doesn't take much of a move given the leverage that you get in these contracts for them to really move. And the fact is they're 1/10 the size of the products that are traded, the options products on the CME. So that makes them really right size for the retail investor. This is just a chart showing the various root symbols. So if you were to type one of these root symbols into the root symbols here, whoops, let me start over with that. Sorry about that. That pen was a little too fat. Let me grab the pencil. Just want to make this point. These are the root symbols, just as you would type in root symbols for the options, and the options chain will come up. The reason there are two sets here, ISE lists both a couple different ways. So they have, this was their initial listing, and they've added these. Now, it's the same basic product. It's just changed around and more. In this format here, it's more of a standard currency type of view of the way currencies are posted in the currency real world. This is more of a options from looking at it from just all U.S. based. So keep that in mind. That's the only real difference there. Whatever one you're more comfortable with, you can trade, but they're basically the same thing.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. To find more podcasts on options, stocks, alternative markets, and market data, please visit www.ise.com/podcasts.